Hello everyone, Sheila back again, welcome to my channel. I am knitting a little bit of the blackberry cardigan, and I can only knit, while I'm talking, I can only knit the knit rows on it, because once I get to the dropping the stitch down below, I can't talk and do that. I have to be looking at what I'm doing or else I'll have stitches. Sometimes when you're counting this pattern here, when you drop the stitches down, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and you pick up the 5th stitch and put that needle underneath all those other 4 that you've dropped down, and then you knit 3 afterwards and do the same again. But sometimes when I've been counting 4, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, pick the stitches up, knit 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I get right to the end and realise what I've done. I might only do it once in the row, but it knocks the whole pattern out, and it is an awkward pattern to pick up if you make a mistake. You have to pick all those stitches back up again that you've dropped down. So I think I've got one more row I can knit here before I have to do the drop down. So I'll just knit that row and then I'll put my knitting down. And I'll start talking, which I'm very good at. So I just need to get to the end of this row. It's only a few stitches. I'm onto one of the fronts on the cardigan. I'll show you. I've got the back done. Show you the back in a minute. Like you see, there are some patterns that I do where I have to be looking at. Most times I can just sit and knit without watching. I don't have to see what I'm knitting. I'm doing that now. I'm just knitting purl across this row, and it's very easy to do that, but there are some patterns I just cannot do that with. So that's all the knit rows, and the next row is a drop down below row. So I'm onto the armholes on the one of the fronts, and it does take a little bit longer to knit this because, like I said about the tension on it, there are 10 rows. I worked out with my knitting anyway, there's 10 rows to the inch, not 7.5 like what it said on another pattern I have. They've measured it over stocking stitch instead of measuring it over the blackberry stitch, so it does take a little bit longer to get to the length you want, because you're knitting 2.5 more stitches, so that's a third again of what you do with stocking stitch, isn't it? Yes, a third. But anyway, I get round. I've done that's the back on it. It's a 24 inch, this one. This is one of the ones for Helen. Like that. Not take too long. And then I have 2 more like that to do for Helen in a blue. But I'm not certain what kind of blue, so if you're watching Helen, tell me what shade of blue you want. I'm not sure whether you did originally ask for Air Force blue, but I'm not sure whether you still wanted Air Force blue. I'm going to have to send a message anyway to find out before I start on the other 2, because there's that many different shades of blue. There's this baby blue, pale blue, baby blue, then there's like a mid blue that's a little bit deeper. There's a cornflower blue. And then there's like an Air Force blue, then there's a royal blue, then there's a navy blue. So I need to know which one I've got to do actually. I'll put that down back in my little bag on the floor and put that in my other one. And I had a little bit happy meal this morning. I'm going to show you. This was the happy meal. And the sun is starting to, not the sunshine, it's brightening up outside, and yeah, you can see one of the cardigans that this was what Sue did, and she sent this to me for to put on my shop to sell, but it was one of the sizes on the this is the 18 inch I think it is, one of the sizes that for to test my pattern. She said she would knit it and send it to me, and she has done. And you know, it's a good job she doesn't do things to sell, because I'd have competition. That looks really nice. This is buttoned on the little girl's size, so this one would be for a little girl. But I'll be putting it on my AB shop, but not until probably Friday. I get special offers on my AB where they knock off 80%, so I only have to pay 20% of the selling fees, and it comes up every fortnight. So if I've got anything to do, I keep it until that Friday. I've got the whole weekend. I've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and up to midnight on Monday to put anything I have on AB to get that 80% off the selling fees. And it's quite good, because if you're selling something on AB, see, if you're selling something for £10, I sold something for £10 and they only knocked about 50 pence off, so I still got about £9.50 for knocking that 80% off, which makes a lot of difference, which is what I prefer to do. If I have anything to sell, I try to keep it until, if it's going on to AB, I try and keep it until that Friday, every fortnight Friday. Special offer Friday, that's what I call it. So that will be going up there on that. It'll be this Friday coming, because it wasn't on Friday gone. So, and she also sent me a lovely card. It's very unusual, you know. I never see cards like these. I've had some unusual cards off some of my subscribers, but you have to show you this one. It's all to do with knitting. There's knitting on the needles there, tape measure, there's ribbon, there's a thimble, and there's buttons down here, and there's buttons there, buttons up there, and there's a lot of things, you know. That's a stitch holder and little bits of information written on. They're very, very unusual, these cards, you know, and it's like, see, I never see anything like this on any of the shops that I go in. But these are ones to keep, you know. They might be worth something in a lot of years' time, you know, like my granddaughter or someone like that might be able to make herself some money off these. I think that's a lovely card, so thank you very much, Sue, for sending that cardigan and for this lovely card. I'm going to put that down anyway, and I'll show you what else I have been knitting. I showed you that one, the pink one. I also have two more, like with that pattern. I'll be doing that pattern in my sleep. This is the one I'm doing for my friend, which I took a picture of it on Thursday when I went to the bingo to let her see I've started it, to keep her off my back. I do have another 3 weeks before this is needed, but I know what she's like. But I'll do a few rows of this in between other things. So that's as far as I've got on there. This is a 26 inch, so this one here is a 24 inch I'm doing, and I'm doing that one off my own pattern. This is my own pattern I'm doing that one off. And that's what I'm trying to knit, things off my own pattern now, so I can work out for myself that there's nothing wrong with any of these patterns, because there has been one or two mistakes found which I've put right, but if I find any myself. But this one only goes up to a 24, so this one here is a 26. So I've had to start a new pattern, writing out a new pattern. There'll be a few sizes, but it's going to take a while because they're all larger sizes, and it takes me a lot longer to knit the larger sizes. So I would probably do this one as a 26, 28, a 30 and a 32. That's probably 4 sizes I would probably get round to on for this one. I also have this one. I started this one originally for my friend, and this wool turned out to be a lot finer than what I thought. It's supposed to be double knitting, it says on the label, but it is not double knitting. I would say it's probably 4 ply. So I was knitting this to a 26, So I'm going to carry on knitting. I'm not pulling it out. I'm going to carry on knitting, but knit it to the length, the body and the sleeves to a 24. So I don't know whether I can put it up against this and you can see the difference, because this is much thicker wool, the weight. I'm getting this wool wrapped around here and I'll spread that out across on the needle as far as I can. It'll be a bit hard to measure it like this because it's... But you can see it is going to be a little bit narrower than this one. So I'm going to carry on knitting this one. This is the 26. And I'm going to carry on knitting this one up as a 24 inch. So, but I'll be using the 26 inch pattern because that's what I've started on it. So that's 3 with the blackberry stitch that I'm doing. But I'll probably not be able to do any of this until I finish the other ones. But I have 2 more, like I said, I have 2 more to do for like the pink one for Helen. And then my old next door neighbour's mother, who I've just done some for, she's just asked for some more. And I'm probably going to have to do these for her as well, because she's seen these on Facebook. So I'm going to be doing them ones till Lord knows when. Put that in the bag out of the way too. And I have been doing another bag. Got one done. I'm going to wind this. I've got this. I've left a long thread on to sew on here just when I start sewing the zip on. So I'm wrapping it around there. So I have one bag ready to do the zip and put the little bag inside. So I'm going to have to cut the bags out for that one. And I've done another one. I've worked this one with the that's the green that I had left from the other ones that I did, and a little bit cream. It looks white on there, but it's not, it's cream. And a little bit purple. I've done the same as this one here, the little bit on the edge, like that. So I'm going to do as many of these as I can, get them done by Friday. I spend about 2 hours in the morning, probably between about 10 and 12 doing these, and it's took me 2 mornings to do that one. So it doesn't take me too long. But when I was doing these ones before, I had I did 4 of them, and I left them all till I had finished the 4 before I started putting the zips and the bags and things into them, and I got really sick by the time I had finished doing it. So these 2 here, I'm going to start putting the zips, because I have to stitch the zip in by hand first. I stitch the zip in onto the wool, and then after I've got the bags done, I put the bag in, and then I stitch the inside of the bag, the lining of the bag, over the top of the zip, so it covers over the stitches that I've done on the putting the zip in. So I'm going to do little bits like that instead of leaving it all at once, so I don't sicken myself. And I had the zip in for that one. I'm going to put a lilac zip on that one to go with the little bit of a lilac I've got round the edge. The green I have just doesn't look right on it, with it having the white, the cream and the purple on. And that's the zip I have for the other one. And there is a lovely young lady contacted me on my emails. Her name is Muriel. She lives up in Scotland and she's 90 years old. And she contacted me. She was asking for some of my PDFs because she's had a little bit health problem, so she's telling me. And she's a lot better now, but she can only sit in a chair. And she asked for my PDFs so she'd have something to knit to keep her from going insane. I know what you mean, Muriel. I'd be going insane if I didn't have things like this to do when I'm sitting on my settee day and night. But she was also giving me some tips about zips. It's telling me, because it's something I already knew about Muriel, but it's nice for other people might not know. She's telling me how to shorten the zips to make them fit, which I know how to do, is especially if they're nylon or sheet plastic, like she said. If they're nylon like this, you work out exactly what length you want the zip, and then over sew that, go over and over the zip, and you see where that is there. See, if I wanted it there, I would sew, like, make a little thing like that over here, over the zip, and cut it off, and then that would make the zip fit. Well, I've already done that actually, Muriel. I've done that with this one here, because you can see where you put the zip in, it is quite a bit longer. I'll show you on that way because you can't see that way. There, it's quite a bit longer than this. Well, this was a bag. These zips are, oh, I haven't got my tape measure. Oh, my tape measure. Oh, that tape measure's in here, man. I have one tape measure I keep out all the time, and one that's in here. That's on a roller, the roller thing. See, I'll see what this actually measures. Because when you're putting the zip in, you only want it in up to the zip in there. You don't need the rest of it actually. But some of these zips aren't all the same length. This one actually, from the start of the zip to the little catch on the end, actually measures 8 inches, and that's supposed to be 7-inch zips. So that one is quite long. But this one I wanted it shortened to what's in my little bag here. I wanted it actually shortened to 7 inches because I wanted this bag just wide enough for my hooks. You know, like your hooks here, just a little bit wider than the hooks. I didn't need it as wide as this one. This is a bigger one. So I had to cut the little bit on the zip to make it fit into here, and that's all I keep in here. There's just my hooks in there, apart from this, which I don't know why I've got this in here. This is for knitting needles, really. But you know, I was working out how do you measure hooks, because I have a one here. This is a 5.5 millimetre, and because of the hook, it won't go through there. But the other end does. I wonder if that's how you measure the hooks. These type of hooks anyway. You couldn't do that with the, some of those other ones that have the thicker handles and that. So these type here, this must be how you measure them. Put them through the end of it through there. That's something I found out just wondering to myself what I had this in this case for. So I tried the hooks, and that's what I found out. So at least I know how to measure my hooks, because these are the only kind of hooks I'll use. I don't like those ones with the extra stuff around the handles. They're supposed to be better to use, but I didn't find them better to use. So that's the only other thing that's in here beside my hooks. As you can see, there's just all hooks in there. So anyway, Muriel, thank you for that little bit of information, because there's a lot of people might not realise how to do that, but I did. It was something, there's not many things I don't know actually. But anyway, you know, it's been a rotten day today. It's really cold. I am sitting here and I've got my heating pad on my knee. I am loath to put my heating on. But we have 12 degrees today. I haven't got my phone here to check. But here, near, I live way back with, it's near Newcastle. It's not actually in Newcastle, but it actually has Newcastle on my rent card. But anyway, it's been about 12 degrees here today. It was raining this morning when I got up. It was raining heavy. It was coming down in buckets actually. So that's set my garden back again. You know, it's really annoying this time of year. I don't think I remember July and August as cold as what it has been this year. For me to be sitting with this on my knee because I was actually cold. And then I went upstairs and found I have all my bedroom windows are open upstairs. In one of the bedroom doors, not one that I use, it's one I keep all my baskets for my ironing in and things like that in. And the door doesn't shut properly. And the window was open and the wind was blown into the room and it was blown that door open. And that's how it was so cold in the house as well, because that draft was coming down the stairs. But I've shut it now, so there'll be no more draft coming from there, and hopefully this is all I need. I'm hoping it's not going to get any colder tonight, but it's been really cold today. But anyway, that's my little bit for today. So, and just in case anybody's asking me, I did not win at the bingo last night. Not last night, Thursday night. Me and my friend never won. We had a few, waiting for one number, but it never happened. So we're just going to have to wait until we do. But I did have 2 premium bonds up, so I thought my luck was changing actually. So I won £50 on my premium bonds. I had 2 £25 premium bonds, but nothing on the bingo. So that's my little bit for today. So thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you all another time. So bye for now.